Hello everyone, Contestants42, your lone archiver here. This is a continuation of yesterday's video, in which I'm using the orbital EMS strike, but my weapon loadout is normal. That's something. Ideally from there, I'm running crossbows so I can carry both of these things, so I can probably focus on main objective, or at least I hope to. I'm not running funny commandos anymore, and I'm bringing my sniper, as you noticed, as an actual support weapon, so I should be doing a lot better. Let's see how long I can hold that plan up. So, EMS strike. I think it's by far the worst stratagem in the game. I'm using it anyway for, I don't know, just to prove my point that I think it's the worst stratagem in the game. Every single source of stun in this game does damage to an enemy's stagger bar over time. In the same way that we have a stamina bar, they have a sense of a stagger bar. When it drops to 0, an enemy becomes completely stunned. Problem is as things run through an EMS strike, unlike a stun grenade that does a lot of stun damage just straight up, it does damage over time, which means that you have to time an EMS strike to come down and hit something, and then you have to time its ability to stay within that radius and stay stunned by it, which just isn't going to happen, especially when the EMS mortar exists and could do the same job over a long extended period, permanently stun locking a good majority of enemies. So the EMS kind of sucks. The one thing it could debatably be used for, of just having orbital precision strikes or 500 kgs drop in on something, you could just get by having the orbital rail cannon do that job, because it auto aims for you. I guess you don't get blast radius with that, but are you really gonna run one stratagem just to make another stratagem slightly more viable? Especially when the stratagem you're having to run, EMS strike, is just not consistent in doing its job anyway? I guess it's one saving grace is the fact that it comes off cooldown so quickly, but even the gas strike does that, and then a gas strike kind of just does its job better now, because it doesn't stun, but it does confuse enemies practically immediately, and that's still pretty useful, especially against bots. Bots being able to shoot vertically up and down or in any kind of direction means that when they're confused, they're a lot less likely to hit you than close-range bugs are, which even as they're flailing wildly can hit you a decent amount of the time. Another thing you could complain that's comparably similar to about is the smoke strike, but the smoke strike has its own benefits. Unlike this, which you directly throw on top of a target, a smoke strike, you understand, is designed to be a disengaging tool. You throw it directly on top of you to smoke a target out behind you, and you can just disengage because things are being less accurate firing through the smoke, as long as you aren't traveling a straight line, because bots will start shooting at your last known position. I love ragdolling. Oh my god. Why wasn't it stunned? A Hulk just ran right through my EMS beacon and then didn't get stunned at all. You can play the clip back and time out how long it takes for the whole Hulk to get all the way through that stun beacon, but yeah, it didn't manage to stun the thing out in time, which, yeah, a stun grenade would have done that job immediately, and a stun grenade is a grenade, and this is a stratagem. One of these things is a lot more valuable than the other. So yeah, that's the issue with the EMS strike. I don't use it too often during this mission, but since most people aren't going to be watching the whole video on YouTube anyway, because I like to post entire missions or operations, that's all I can say about it. If that's all you were here for, thank you for your time. If you like this video, please give it a like. You can give me some feedback on either my editing style or the EMS strike, and just post your own opinions down in the comments. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe. I'll try to make sure that things are coherent at the start for divers who wish to only just see my thoughts and opinions on certain weapons or stratagems. For the rest of you, welcome to the long haul, and I thank you for being here. You're free to call them in.
Sub-objective near your location. Liberty dispensed.
Oh god. Seriously? Seriously, game. I shoot a berserker with a revolver like 6 times with all my bullets, and he's still not dead. On one hand, my only other 2 options were sniper rifle and crossbow, neither of which are great at dealing with berserkers once they get close to you, so I was kind of panicked overall. On the other hand, I should have relaxed more and just aimed for the head rather than just spamming shots assuming it was going to kill the berserker. This ragdoll is immensely funny. Just the getting stuck against a sloped wall like that. Poor box. Yeah. There's still one guy out of there. We'll probably shoot you in a second. Just be careful. When you call me in, could you throw a commando again as well? And I'll start going for the double whammy over there. Just so we're clear, a double whammy is completely, highly classified, highly certified, completely bona fide fact how you refer to a set of double gunship fabricators. I don't care what you're talking about. It's a double whammy, especially if it's inside of a stratagem jammer's range. Then it's practically a triple whammy. Some would even consider that the stratagem is worth 2 of these bad boys when it is exerting range over them. So it's more like a quadruple whammy. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm on about either. I should probably just shut up now. Oh god damn it, I hit a tree. Best way to take out a double whammy? Drop a hell bomb in that little scrap pile. It's always close enough and high up enough that it can take care of both with one explosion. There is some other spots you can do it, but this is the best in terms of it also provides just a little bit of cover. The only annoying part about it is you have to figure out a way to get up on top of the scrap pile and mount the hell bomb in certain situations. The stratagem jammer just had a bot drop get called at it, so some cooldown.
Affirmative.
Log fabricator.
One step closer to mission completion.
When you turn tail and run with the ballistic shield, it's good to pull out a weapon that is two-handed. That way you can have the shield be on your back and deflecting the fire from behind. It's one of the niche little things that doesn't apply too much, but can be quite useful for when machine gunners like that from a base you've just blown up are still trying to get a good few pot shots in your back. Thank you.
I got the terminal.
Mission at 30
I'd just
minutes
disengage if you
remaining.
can. I've already got this set up and ready to go. Now, I don't say this every single time, because I'd sound very much like a broken record if I did, but Box at the start of this mission was very right saying that we have to stick together for this one. I tried my best to split off and do my own thing, but as you can see, when it comes to carrying packages like this, especially when there is 2 of them, you kind of just do have to stick together with the team. I say that despite the fact that we then immediately split up again, which is too funny to take out of the video.
Calling in an eagle.
I don't know if that's funny haha or funny peculiar. Take your pick.
Delivering payload.
Dropping package. Package acquired. Dropping package. Package acquired. New mag. Drop cell handles a terminal.
Dropping package. I've got the package. Dropping package.
I'm on the terminal.
If you want, start taking care of that big base or the side objective, and I'll meet up with you soon after I push my way up the side. Honestly, the pace that we're doing this about is very nostalgic for me. Back in the very early days of my Helldivers 2 career, my favorite thing to do would just be to go to tier 6 bots and just try to do missions as fast as possible. There's a lot of good memories of just randoms joining us and being like, what the hell, how are we doing these missions so fast? We still had like 30 minutes left. Come on. What's taking this thing so damn long?
I'm on it.
I think that's why I also have such a fondness for playing Quickplay. If nobody else is available, sure, I could solo dive, but joining randoms is always a fun time, even if they can be frustrating, because they're usually frustrating in the fun way. A way like, how do I put this exactly? They just make you appreciate how much you've learned by playing the game so far. And as long as you're at least somewhat patient and understanding, they tend to like playing with you too. I, however, am still a little too prone to just going AWOL and getting stuff done, especially when playing against bots. It kind of just feels bad to keep fighting everything constantly. Better to go at my own pace and play guerrilla tactics more than playing the horde shooter. I, again, like this game more as a guerrilla tactics game than a horde shooter. Stim Pistol has been slowly fixing that out of me, because that can be very annoying to some people, as I've mentioned before.
Dropping package. Sending in an eagle. Package acquired.
Coming in hot.
More of the back shield doing some good work keeping me alive. It's not perfect because you can still get hit in the legs, but most things are trying to aim for head or center of mass when it comes to bots. This is one of the only last large bases left on the map, so lasering it might be a good idea. Is it the one with the two turrets that are back to back? It looks like it.
Affirmative.
Yeah, then just throw the laser up where the two turrets are. Then you can just shoot the last one, it should be fine.
Requesting orbital.
Out of all the heavy bases, this one is the only one I know of that has 3 fabricators. Which means that it's the only one with 3 fabricators as of the time of this recording. It instead has 2 cannon turrets that are placed back to back at the top elevated position. It then usually tends to have a shit ton of tanks in the main bay area. Because of that, we like to call this one tank base. The third fabricator can be found at the far edge of that tank bay, and is usually easily snipeable,
Outpost destroyed.
just as Box does right there. Out of all of them, because of how open it is, you have to take it the most slow. But it can be a good idea to rush to get under those 2 large cannons, that way you don't have to deal with them. Knowing the situation will be up to you. It's not like I'm over your shoulder giving you commentary on your own games in the moment. I'm just a YouTuber, not a coach.
Dropping a pin. West. Far.
This is probably another side objective if you want to just start running over for that.
Affirmative.
Just because you're significantly better at this whole infiltration thing than I am. Deciding that shooting with the shield in first person isn't going to work, and also that shooting out that fence at the wrong time could be very bad for me, I decided to just take care of both of these things. The explosive crossbow's unique advantage also comes to play here. It is an explosive tool, so you can use it to crowd control things and stun multiple targets, but another thing it allows you to do is, because it has a direct bolt that does enough damage to do a good amount of sniper damage, you can just directly hit a target in the head and kill any Devastator with it. You just have to get good at hitting those headshots with the arc that it comes in at. Because sometimes I've noticed the arc actually makes it so that way it doesn't directly penetrate with the full medium pen, because it's coming in at a sharp angle.
No pain, no gain.
Alright. Gotta turn it essentially to almost basically 8 o'clock.
Dropping a pin.
The
Northwest,
default
200
position
meters.
on the radial interface for radar towers is pointed towards the bottom. Because of that, I refer to it as 6 o'clock, and everything else in there I refer to as what it would probably be on an analog clock face, giving you a rough estimate of how far to turn it and which direction to turn it in.
Objective located. Northwest.
Alright, that makes me lose my backpack for whatever reason. I'm just calling a new one. Helldiver's 2 water system can be very deadly with how quickly you're prone to drowning with all the heavy gear that a Helldiver is carrying, but it does, like in most video games, make you completely immune to fall damage as far as I can tell. Okay, so it's another copy of the tank one? Cool.
Affirmative.
Mission map
Silent.
updated.
Keep diving.
Extraction is available.
Yeah, extract's close to the center of the map, so that makes sense.
Mission at 20 minutes.
We're both in
remaining.
scout gear, so we might just be able to sneak by everything. Or at least try to. I will make no promises. I've got 4 smoke grenades.
Sample.
I have supers, so I'm just gonna grab them for fun.
Orbital inbound.
Tagging map. Southwest. 100 meters.
Me and Bucks are well past the point where we need samples. Honestly, most people past level 100 are past the point needing samples. I guess the only exception would be is if you played enough to get to level 100, and then they added in the 5th tier of ship modules.
Advanced weaponry.
With Bucks' lasers still burning through that last base, I decided it's about time to get started on clearing out this extract that supposedly has 3 or 4 hulks in them. After counting 3 hulks, the one directly in front of me, the one I can see with its heat vent, and the one that's slightly behind this one that's closer to the hill, I decided to just take out the first one and smoke up. This distracts most of any other longer range enemies, such as that machine gunner, from being able to see me. And it leaves me open enough to take care of this berserker without getting swarmed with bullets and berserkers. Popping out of the smoke, I get a good shot on a heavy Devastator and decide to take care of that with the sniper rifle. The crossbow could flinch it into seeing me, which wouldn't be good. With the bot drop going out, it's time for going even remotely quiet is over. I back up enough to give myself some space to shoot out this berserker as it gets too close, and then I get started on this next one, being more careful to make sure that I hit the headshots, unlike before.
Orbital inbound.
Oh,
Outpost cleared.
oh god. When you all come from? How did you even hit me from over there? Here, Arrowhead, could ballistic shields please be more effective against melee units? I feel like it'd be fun to be able to run these against bugs. Right now, it's kind of worthless to run these against bugs. Unless I really want to go ham into the whole taking care of Spewer's department with the crossbow. Smoking up to get extract started? It's time to get it. It's important as you go into an extract to think about, alright, we're going to be here for the rest of the time, so let's plan accordingly. If you have a resupply to drop it down now. If you are using stratagems, you should be more frugal with your uses of them, because if they aren't going to come off cooldown again during the extract, then, well, that's your last use of them you're going to get. The other thing you should think about is if you have any supplies outside of the resupply, such as a support weapon, do I want to drop this now or wait in case things go sideways? Dropping it now can be useful because by having a second loaded copy of your support weapon lying around, you can make sure that you're always prepared. The downside is again, if things go sideways, what are you going to call in? I drop a smoke here, which prevents most enemies from being able to target us as effectively. The smaller blast radius of the Rocket Devastator's rockets mean that as they shoot at us, they end up wasting a lot of their shots missing in the smoke rather than ragdolling us around. This is good because once they're out of ammo, well, they're out of ammo. No longer able to ragdoll us. The unfortunate news is I keep having to pop out over here to deal with Hulks. This is where the EMS beacon gets a little more time to shine, but as you can see, the Hulk just walks right through it and right up to us.
ETA T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
What? No, you're fine. And as you can see, that Devastator was already out of rockets, which is the great use of the smoke. I drop another smoke for Box, that way they can run over to grab supplies. But noticing the Factory Strider, I decide, maybe this isn't enough. I ragdoll myself getting one of the Berserkers as it runs through the smoke because, well, melee units aren't that much affected by smoke, hence why it's bad against bugs. Smoked off and able to resupply, Box takes care of the Factory Strider. There's still a couple of Devastators pushing up around the corner, but the more important issue of things pushing around this corner is those two Hulks, both of which are of the Scorcher variety, so I can't do much to smoke them off. Smoking at this point could still stop them from noticing us, but I've already peeked out over the hill, so they kind of don't really completely de-aggro at that point. They'll keep traveling to your last known location, and that's not going to help us as we have to keep holding this hill to get anywhere. I try to reload and supply at the same time, which isn't good, but after stimming, they've already shot it with the recoilless. I begin to turn the corner knowing that we have to get out of here soon, and I just decide to drop the EMS strike. It shouldn't matter at this point because Bach should already be in a good enough position that they'll be fine, so I smoke off anything that's coming from the EMS strike because that's the fastest route, and just get started on hiding under extract. I have to smoke cover into Pelican.
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
Reinforcement
Extraction
budget
complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent. Today you carved another foot in a long climb to liberty.
Yeah, I know that there was a lot under. I kept peeking out, so all of the things that had guns kept turning to look towards me, and as much as possible, I kept just dropping my EMS strike on top of them, which lasts for about 20 seconds and has an 80-second cooldown. So I was just doing my best to keep them stuck there as much as I could, while also giving you some cover and throwing smokes down so that way they would never, if they ever rounded the corner, they wouldn't lock onto you instead of me. And that was me giving the EMS strike the honest college try. I've been Contestants42, your lone archiver. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you have any feedback or comments for me, the comment section is right there. Feel free to use it. If you would like to see more content like this, please give this video a subscribe. I am trying to upload daily and will have something for you tomorrow. With that all being said, I have been Quintessence42, your lone archiver, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Arrivederci!